All right. Let's.
Mic on?
I don't know. It's supposed to be on. Hello. Need my AV people.
All right, let's do this.
You want to tell them to. The mics are. Good. All right. If we could all. I know it's a busy day. A very joyous occasion. So if we could all hit our seats and get started. All right. Unbelievable how all of you have decided to come and see me on my last day as chairman. I knew I was self-important. Thank you, Mr. Assessor. So I'll bring the meeting to order. Thank you for coming. I'd like to, at this point, introduce Supervisor Barney to introduce his friend, Mr. Breinholt, who will be giving our invocation this morning, and also have Supervisor Gates introduce his daughters, who will be leading us immediately after the Invocation and Pledge of Allegiance. So, Mr. Barney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Leroy Reinhold, if you'd come forward and honor us with a prayer to start off our meeting. This is a dear friend, one of my heroes, and just grateful he can be here and kick off 2017 in this special time for the county. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let's all rise, please.
Our Father in heaven, we are so grateful to be here this day to witness the swearing in of these political officials here in the state of Arizona and the county. We are grateful for the many blessings we have to live in such a wonderful state, to have people such as these to serve and to give of their time and their talents and their efforts for the betterment of us as members of this great state. We're grateful for those that have gone before them, that have sacrificed so much, their families, the time and efforts that they've exerted. We're grateful for those in the military that do sacrifice and have sacrificed so much so that we can have the freedoms that we have to live here. We're grateful for this wonderful state and for the opportunities that we have by living here that it affords us. And we ask blessings upon this state, Father, that we will be able to move forward and be a leader in the country, that our country will look to the state of Arizona for its great leadership, for its selfless service, and for all those that sacrifice so much. We are grateful for this wonderful country and ask a blessing upon those that also serve on a national level. Please help us to get past our political divides and past the issues that we have in our lives, that we will truly be able to realize and understand how blessed we are to live in this great country, in this great state, and that we will all as citizens and as leaders pull together and to get past the partisan issues that we have and be able to serve together and to help those that need help. As many people in this state and people in this country need help, please help us to reach out to them, to have them feel part of the state, to feel part of the bigger cause of moving forward and being a leader in this country, in the world, Father. This world needs leadership, and this country has always been one that most of the world looks to, and please help us to continue to do that on an individual basis and as a state, and also, more importantly, as a country. Again, we are so humbled and appreciative of all the many blessings we have. We know that we are truly blessed to live here and to have the many things that we do and the sacrifices that have gone before us. And we give thee thanks humbly for all the many blessings we have. And we do so in the name of thy Son, our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. And now Supervisor Gates has someone to introduce.
Yes, thank you very much. I would like to introduce my daughter, Emily Gates, who's a 10th grader, and my daughter, Corinne Gates, who's a 7th grader, and they're here to lead us in the pledge today.
Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, please be seated. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Right now, I'd like to introduce the presiding judge of the Maricopa County Superior Court, the Honorable Janet Barton. Judge Barton, if you could take this moment to please swear in the members of this board. If my fellow members will please stand.
I hope you don't mind, but I added in a phrase about you approving our budget in full.
That's for the next chairman.
All right, here we go. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona.
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and defend them against all enemies,
and defend them against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of the office of a Maricopa County Supervisor
the duties of the office of Maricopa County Supervisor
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you. Well, before I get started, while I have just a minute of executive privilege, I'd like to introduce some of my family members for being here today. So thank you, my mother, Gertie Hickman, my wife, Jennifer Hickman, and my mother-in-law, the two moms, Veronica Bosick. So thanks for being here to witness me handling the gavel to someone. It could be anyone. Okay, so thank you for that. We've now come to the nomination and election of the chairman for the Board of Supervisors for the 2017 calendar year. Do I have a nomination for chairman?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make the nomination for Supervisor Denny Barney to be the new chairman of the County Board of Supervisors.
Mr. Chairman, I'd second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries, and we have a new chairman of the board, Mr. Denny Barney. Thank you. Do I have to sit next to Gallardo?
It would be your honor.
Well, I guess it's official. Thank you to my colleagues for this honor and this the confidence that they've placed in me. I noticeably didn't vote for myself. I'm not sure if you're supposed to, but I certainly look forward to the opportunity to serve. With that, I'd like to just take a moment and recognize Supervisor Hickman for his service. It's been a great year at the county, and certainly the county is better because of his leadership. So in behalf of the board, the four of us, we just say thank you. We honor you, and we'd like to present you with a plaque that recognizes your service and your leadership as chairman in the year of 2016. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's have everybody come over. Yeah, we're going to get a picture right here. Well, I would suggest that being the past chairman is way better than being the current chairman. So,
Feels better already.
Congratulations. With that, we'd like to proceed with the swearing in of our elected officials that are here with us. Before we do that, though, it's probably appropriate that we recognize all those that are here that serve an elected office, not those that are being sworn in today, but we have a number of others. We tried to get a list, and as they came in, we were unable to do that. So if I could please invite all those that are here that serve an elected office, again, not those being sworn in, but those that are here just to support this great day for the county. If you'd please stand. Remain standing. We welcome you. We thank you for being here. A number of our constables and justice of the peaces and representatives from the legislature, other county officials, Mayor Barney from Queen Creek. We're so grateful you're here. Thank you for your support and your willingness to be with us today. With that, I'd like to call forward Mr. Paul Peterson, our assessor, and invite him to be sworn in by Judge Barton. If we could invite Judge Barton back to the mic. Let's see what she tries to get out of you, Paul.
I don't have to give out my home address here. Speak into the microphone so everyone can hear you.
Can do that.
Are you ready?
Yep.
I, Paul Peterson,
I, Paul Peterson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and defend them against all enemies,
and defend them against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of the
the
office
duties of the office
of Maricopa County Assessor
of Maricopa County Assessor
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
I also do solemnly swear
I also do solemnly swear
that I will, to the best of my knowledge and ability,
that I will, to the best of my knowledge and ability,
truly and fairly determine
truly and fairly determine
the valuation without favor or partiality
the valuation without favor or without
Partiality.
favor or, gotta get that right, partiality
of all the taxable property
of all the taxable property
in Maricopa County
in Maricopa County
at its full cash value.
at its full cash value.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, Paul, that's without partiality, just to be clear. If we could please call our County Attorney Bill Montgomery forward, and I'd like to introduce a special guest that's here with him today, Justice Andrew Gould, who is our newest member of the Supreme Court to be sworn in here shortly. We're grateful that he's here with us and honored by his presence. And if you would please proceed, Justice Gould, with the... Please.
You would please introduce my wife and children, and Maddie and William.
Becky and Maddie. William, would you please stand? We welcome you. Thank you. Now, are you supposed to be in school today, or is today a day off? Okay, well, we're glad you're here. Thank you and welcome.
If you would please raise your right hand. I, William Gerard Montgomery,
I, William Gerard Montgomery,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and defend them against all enemies,
and defend them against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
carry out the duties
carry out the duties
of Maricopa County Attorney
of Maricopa County Attorney
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you and congratulations. Welcome to Maricopa County, Justice Gould. We're glad to have you here. If we could please invite our recorder, Adrian Fontes, to come forward. He'll be sworn in by Judge Barton. If we could invite them forward. Thank you.
I'd also, Mr. Chair, like to introduce my mother and father, who are over here, Dr. Linda Pucci and Victor Fontes, and my wife, Mona, and my children, who are supposed to be in school, but they get a special break today.
Adrian, tell us their names, if you would, please. If you want to introduce them individually, what are their names?
Oh, sure. My oldest, Olivia, who probably has her cell phone out, and Isabella, our precocious middle child, and Adriana, who is right over there next to her mom. There she is. All right. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
If you'll raise your right hand. I, Adrian Fontes,
I, Adrian Fontes,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and defend them against all enemies,
and defend them against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of the office of Maricopa County Recorder
the duties of the office of Maricopa County Recorder
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Congratulations. All right, if we could now invite forward Mr. Steve Watson, the Maricopa County Superintendent of Public Instruction. Welcome.
Point of personal privilege.
Please. This is starting to sound like the legislature, but go ahead.
I would just like the opportunity to introduce my family.
They're beautiful. Can we help you with that?
My sister Marion, please stand up. My mom, everybody knows my mom. She was everywhere. My wife Tessa. My oldest daughter Brighton. She's 14. She's a freshman at Pinnacle. My twin boys, Fletcher, who's older by about 45 minutes, and Benin, who is younger by about 45 minutes. Stand up, Ben. My 8-year-old Ellis. My 5-year-old McKinley. And my 2-year-old Cardston. And I'm excited to have my mother and father-in-law here as well, Don and Terry Fletcher.
Welcome. Thank you for being here.
I am.
I, Steve Watson,
I, Steve Watson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and defend them against all enemies,
and defend them against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of the office of Maricopa County School Superintendent
the duties of the office of Maricopa County School Superintendent
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Selfie time. You may need a longer arm to capture the whole crowd. Welcome aboard. We'd like to now invite Sheriff Paul Penzone to come forward. He's going to be sworn in by Judge. Thank you. He'll be sworn in by Judge Mary Margia, a federal judge in the Ninth Circuit. Welcome, Judge. We're glad to have you here this morning.
Chairman Barney, it's a pleasure and a privilege to be here today.
Thank you so much. And Paul, would you like to would you like to introduce your guest here?
I'm taking privileges. There's my wife Veronica and my son Austin. I have my parents Rosemary and Charlie, my niece Haley, my brother Charlie, and my sister Linda here with me today, and our Pastor Travis.
Please repeat after me. I, Paul Penzone,
I, Paul Penzone,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same,
and
defend them against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of the office of County Sheriff according to the best of my ability, so help me God. Sheriff Penzo. Congratulations.
Congratulations and welcome. We'd like to now invite Mr. Royce Flora, our treasurer, to come forward. He'll be sworn in by Judge Barton. And Royce, if you'd take an opportunity to introduce Ann and your mother, perhaps, that'd be great.
I'm not sure they want to be associated with me.
Well, we would like to be associated with them, so if you would do them the honor.
It's my wife, Ann, and my mother, Joyce. And behind them, Dr. Stratton and his wife, Barbara.
Welcome.
I was told there was a teleprompter.
You should have it memorized by now.
Now we're in trouble.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I wrote Royce Flora,
I, Royce Flora,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
and the Constitution and laws of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and defend them against all enemies,
and defend them against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of the office of Maricopa County Treasurer
the duties of the office of Maricopa County Treasurer
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Royce. Welcome. With that, we'd like to now proceed with the swearing in of our Justice of the Peace judges. We've got 10, and we would invite them all to come forward. I'd like to take an opportunity to read their names. Lenore Driggs from the Arcadia Biltmore Court, Ann Huberman from County Meadows, Kathy Riggs, Desert Ridge, Frank J. Conti from Dreamy Draw, Steve Uri from Highland, Andy Gastelum from Maryville, Andrew K. Hettinger from Moon Valley, Cecil Ash from North Mesa, and Sam Goodman from Santan, and Fred Arnett from West Mesa. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're glad you're here. And we'll turn to Judge Barton for the swearing in. What's that?
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and defend them against all enemies,
and defend them against all enemies,
foreign and domestic.
foreign and domestic.
I will faithfully and impartially discharge
I will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of the office of Justice of the Peace
the duties of the office of Justice of the Peace
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
We congratulate each of you and welcome you, some returning, some new. And those that are here with you to celebrate today, we welcome you. Thank you. Now we'd like to invite forward the following constables to be sworn in by Judge Barton. We're grateful that they're here. Carolyn Lane from Arcadia Biltmore. I'm going to just mention their precincts again. Kenneth Sumner of County Meadows, James Rich of Desert Ridge, Doug Middleton of Dreamy Draw, Phil Freestone of Highland, Frank Elcañez of Maryville, David Mark Lester of McDowell Mountain, J. Richard Copeland of Moon Valley, Ed Malice of North Mesa, Brent McCleve of North Valley, and Steve Allen of Santan. Welcome. We're glad you're here, and we'll step aside as Judge Barton proceeds with the swearing in. Thank you.
Raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and defend them against all enemies,
and defend them against all enemies,
foreign and domestic.
foreign and domestic.
I will faithfully and impartially discharge
I will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of the office of constable
the duties of the office of constable
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Carolyn, gentlemen, congratulations and welcome. Well, with that, I think we've concluded the official business of swearing in, and we're grateful again to all those that have come to be part of this special day for Maricopa County.
Mr. Chairman,
Please.
if to join in with the round of points of personal privileges, I would, if it's okay, would love to just.
I was just heading there, so thank you.
Okay, thank you.
The guy that's been in the legislature actually takes the mic.
Yeah, I actually,
I like it.
I was actually a professional when it came to points of personal privileges. Russell can vouch for me on that one, huh? Can't you, Russell? No, I just want to real quickly introduce some of the guests that I have brought with me. Barb Lubin, I know Barb was here. There's Barb. Barb Lubin, longtime friend, and worked so hard for the Democratic Party, and she is just a great person to know and just wonderful to be with. So thank you, Barb, for joining us. Who else did we have? Anthony. Where's Anthony? Anthony's hiding. Where's Anthony Ruelas? Where's Anthony? There's Anthony. Anthony, a City of Phoenix employee and with AFSCME, American Federation for State, County, Municipal Employees, great friend and longtime supporter. Thank you, Anthony, for coming. Isabel, thank you. Also, I think many of you know Isabel. She's been here doing the prayer with us. She's with Chicanos por la Casa. She also is with Becalores, which is a domestic violence shelter. And Isabel, just a great friend and just incredible work in the community. And then, of course, Monica Pimentel, one of our own county employees. She is here. She's also been a great friend and longtime supporter. So thank you, Monica, for being here as well. And then there's a couple of elected officials. I see Councilman Nowakowski was here. Thank you, Michael, for coming. District 7, City of Phoenix, and Deborah Starks. I know Deborah's here. I don't know where Deborah's went, but Deborah, welcome back to the county. I know she's doing some great work at the City of Phoenix, and I wish her well in the future. And to all the newly electeds, I look forward to working with all y'all. I really do, especially the new four, Adrian, Watson, Mr. Penzone, Royce. Look forward to working with all four of you. And I think 2017 is going to be a great year. I know the JPs and constables continue to do a great job, and thank you for the service they do. I know it's a tough job. Thank you for all you all do. And, of course, our veterans, I guess we can call you a veteran now, Mr. Montgomery, who also continues to do a great job. Look forward to working with all y'all. Great year coming.
Clint, anybody else you want to recognize before we move forward here?
You know,
is your personal trainer here?
Actually, I'll give credit again to my mom who gave birth to me. Thanks, Mom, for being here again. My beautiful wife.
Gertie, we love you. Welcome back.
Thank you, Chairman.
Supervisor Chukri, I know you've got a special guest here.
I do. I want
who puts
to,
up with you every day.
I call her my girlfriend of 17 years, but I'd like to introduce my wife, Christine, who's here today.
Welcome.
My two young boys are in school, and the county's liability insurance doesn't allow them to both be in this auditorium at the same time. So they're here in spirit. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Christine, welcome. Supervisor Gates, welcome officially to the lectern. And how about a round of applause? You look good up here. We're glad you're here.
Well, thank you. It's great to come across the street here.
Yeah.
You know, it was a long walk.
The air
from
is better over here.
The city council chambers. Thank you to all my colleagues for making me feel very much at home already, and to the staff as well. And in addition to my daughters, I'm going to clear something up. We don't want to start a controversy here. They don't have school either today, so just want to make that clear. Thanks to them for doing the pledge, and I also want to thank my wife of 20-plus years, Pam Gates, for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. We just want to express, again, gratitude to Joy and to Fran for trying to herd cats up here. We're grateful for their work, and they kind of sit as the bookends to make sure we stay contained, so thank you. With that, I think we have a video to roll. If it's time, we'll cue that up and keep things moving. Hey, Joy, do you have a minute?
Sure.
I've been wanting to show you something I saw in the budget here.
Supervisor Barney always digs into the details.
I've been thinking about this recidivism issue. We've got to figure out how we're going to take this new jail and make sure that we don't have so many people coming back. I'm tenacious, I'm passionate, maybe even obnoxious to some. Oh, hey, guys. Hey, Fields, I've been wanting to talk to you about this IDA recognition that we've got. Somehow we need to come up with a way to message better. Could you put together a press release or something? Okay. Hey, what do you think, Bill?
I don't know. I just got here.
Hey, Reed, I wanted to ask you a question. How do we move as many people from the county attorney's office into that new facility?
Supervisor Barney typically asks very, very detailed questions about very detailed projects, and that's something, as a staff, we truly enjoy.
I've been amazed with people's patience with me. Hey, Steve, something I wanted to run by you. Looking at this,
do you mind if I take notes?
Yeah, just kind of trying to figure out what we do. We're at 84%, but the bigger issue is, what do we do to continue that growth?
You're never going to find anyone more energetic and enthusiastic about policy than Denny Barney, and that's why I'm so excited to work with him.
Hey, Cindy and Brian, thanks for coming. I had a question.
When we meet with Supervisor Barney, we always need to be prepared.
How do we differentiate between specifically the reserved and the unreserved contingency?
Denny is a natural problem solver. But to get to the solution, he does ask a lot of questions.
This is Bill.
Hello, Bill. Denny. Hey, I'm anxious to talk to you a little bit about this McJustice agenda that's coming forward. See, the big question is, what does it do for us in terms of recidivism? Also, I wanted to talk about zero-based budgeting. So let me ask you this question.
Hey, Joe, what do we have on the calendar for lunch?
Bill, are you there? Bill? Hey, Clint, you got a minute? Oh, sure you do. Hey, I've been wanting to talk to you about this award. This is exciting stuff. Certainly wouldn't have happened without your great leadership, but how do we recognize these guys? Oh, by the way, nice plate. Go Devils. Hey, you know what? I got to go. I've been looking for this too. Thank you.
He comes in pretty expert in quite a lot of fields, and I enjoy working with him, and so could you...
Oh, hey, Steve, I've been meaning to ask you, is it Gallardo or Gallardo?
I get asked that a lot, but I respond to both.
Gotta go. Thanks.
Wow, as the lone Democrat, I'm surprised he even knows my name.
Oh, Andy, I've been meaning to ask you something before you go.
You're on your own now. I gotta go.
Wow, that's quite a video. Thank you to Fields and Scott and Erica for their work in putting that together. It's clear everybody's really excited to work with me, so looking forward to 2017. For those of you that recall Chairman Hickman's video last year, there was a point in the video where he was in the shower and there was some partial male nudity, specifically Clint soaping off. So when I called Bill and said, hey, Bill, would you take a quick part in this video? He said, do I get to keep my shirt on? So I just say thank you to everybody for participating and keeping your clothes on during the video. I hope it's not a sign of things to come in 2017, but we're looking forward to it. So, and is it Gallardo or Gallardo? Because I hear different things all the time from you.
Whatever you want to call me.
Okay, we'll stick with one of the two. So, all right. With that, it's customary that we give a chairman's address, and so I'm going to just dive in and. But first, start with again with a big thank you and a big welcome. We're so glad that you're here. We welcome our elected officials, our families and friends that are here and those that are interested in the great work of the county. We're glad that you can be here on this special day for the county as we jump into the new year. I want to take just a quick moment and introduce some special guests that are here with me. If I could invite my wife, Nicole, to stand. We've got 2 of our 4 children, Bryson, who's 15, and Bronson, who's 13. They're not playing hooky either. Our other 2 children are out of state and out of the country, but they're here with us in spirit. I'd love to introduce my mother, Ann Barney, and my older brother, Jason, 14 months older. My mother and father-in-law, Les and Elaine Smith, are here. If they'd please stand, welcome. My next-door neighbor and bodyguard, Jimmy Lindblom. Not sure how he even knew about this. I wouldn't have burdened him with it, but he showed up. And then, of course, Leroy, who gave us the invocation this morning. Welcome and thank you. Well, as we mentioned a bit ago, it's been a great year with Clint. 2016 was a great year with Clint serving as chairman. We're grateful for him. And as I mentioned, the county's truly better because of his leadership. So thank you, Clint. As we turn the page on 2016, we certainly say farewell to some great people that have served for a long time at the county. We give our best to Supervisor Andy Kanasic. You can see he was literally running out the door with his things. Sheriff Joe Arpaio, County Recorder Helen Purcell, Superintendent Don Covey, and a number of our elected judges and constables. Thank you, and we appreciate your more than a century's worth of service when you add it all up. That's a lot of service in behalf of the citizens of Maricopa County, so maybe a round of applause for them. Well, as you've seen today, we've sworn in a bunch of new people, great people. We look forward to serving with them, and we welcome you. Supervisor Bill Gates, Sheriff Paul Penzone, County Recorder Adrian Fontes, Superintendent Steve Watson, and a number of new judges and constables who serve the people in the courts in Maricopa County. We're grateful for your willingness to serve going forward, and we welcome you. And maybe a round of applause would be appropriate here as well. So as we consider the next chapter here at Maricopa County, let's take just a moment to look back, kind of at the last few years. It's been an interesting time. 4 or 5 years ago, we had 5 experienced supervisors sitting on the board. And then in a period of a couple of years, it was just Andy, supervisor long in the tooth, as we called him, and 4 new faces. And certainly that's a great thing. Bringing new perspectives, bringing new views and opinions is a good thing, but it also brings with it a great deal of extra work for those that have been around for a while. Andy was certainly incredible in terms of bringing us all in and putting us to work and helping us try to understand what it is that we're supposed to do here at the county. He helped us make sense of it all, so we're grateful to him. And I will say, as I've said before, that it's much like drinking from a fire hose, and we certainly couldn't do it without the help and support of so many people here. Bill will know exactly what we're talking about here as he plants both feet on the ground and dives in. During that time, we also experienced changes in the county manager's office. Certainly would be appropriate to recognize Tom Manos, who had the unique and dubious distinction of taking 5 supervisors in a short period of time through the orientation process. Between he and Fran, they had their hands full, and we're grateful for their work and for their efforts and their patience. Tom's steady hand and his balanced approach to problems will long be felt at Maricopa County, and we're grateful that he could be here with us today. I saw Tom earlier. There he is. Tom, thank you. Tom's gotten so many awards and recognitions, we decided to not give him another plaque today. We're just glad that he's here. It's been great to work with Joy during the second half of 2016. She has tremendous capacity, and the board will continue to lean on her as we move into the future with her in this top post as the CEO at the county. So Joy, good luck, and we're grateful to work with you, and we look forward to a very prosperous 2017 and beyond. So thank you. One last quick mention. I felt it would be appropriate to mention Deputy County Manager Sandy Wilson. She's not with us today because she recently retired. But during the first term for each of us, she spent a tremendous amount of time with us individually working through budgets and with our staff trying to make sense of this $2.5 billion budget of your money, taxpayer resources. It's massive. There's tens of thousands of budget lines, and we couldn't do it without her and others in the Office of Management and Budget, and we're grateful for her and her service, and we'll certainly miss her. She was a great proponent for fiscal responsibility. She'll be missed as kind of we enter this next chapter for Maricopa County, so thank you, Sandy. So what now? Let me start by sharing just a quick kind of anecdotal story about an antique car that we have in our family. Martine, if you could put this picture up. My dad collected lots of things. Kids, there's 10 kids in my family, horses, trailers, cars, friends. But this car was his favorite. For many, many years, he wanted a car like this. And it's appropriate to mention that tomorrow, it's been 8 years since my dad passed away, and we certainly miss him. But we hold tightly the great memories that we have of him. Many of you knew Dennis Barney. He was a good man. He loved building and creating. He loved people. He loved life. He had a unique ability to find common ground with anybody, anywhere. We'd get in a cab in New York City, and pretty soon, before we got to the destination, he'd know all the good restaurants and about the cabbie's family, and that's how he was. He didn't care who you were, but he liked building people and building things. He had that ability to find that common ground. I never knew him to say a negative thing about anybody, ever. He loved my mother, who we introduced a moment ago. She's here with us. He loved his 10 kids. He loved being at his cattle ranch up in the mountains in Christopher Creek. He loved his horses, and he liked the cars. So now let me show you another picture. This is a 1933 Ford sedan. It's a custom roadster with suicide doors. The picture's old. It's more than 30 years old, but it still gives you a good sense of the condition of the car. The car was featured in a number of car collector magazines because of its rarity and the unique condition and the work that went into it. As I mentioned, my dad had wanted a car like this since he was a boy, and then finally, somewhere in middle-aged, he bought it, and he really liked it. It was fast, it was unique, it was just what he wanted. What you can't see in the picture is, like you would expect, is a lot of the unique features. It had a high output Corvette engine in the Roadster. It had a custom pro-built chassis with a Jaguar rear end. It had beautiful leather interior and wool carpet. It was and is a unique car. It's a collector's car. With this and other cars that he had, we would make a practice of driving these cars in parades around town. And it was always fun. You never knew which car was going to break down if you'd make it through the parade, as is the case with these antique vehicles. But following a parade one year, some friends and I, we were in high school. We were leaving the parade and thought how great it would be to fire up this old car and go for a cruise. And my dad, just as we were getting in, said, "Hey, you know what I would have done as a boy your age to drive a car like that?" And of course, I didn't hear much, and I slammed the door and peeled out and took off, or whatever teenage boys do in fast cars. As fate or misfortune would have it, we got in an accident not far from leaving him behind. Luckily, if we can show that picture, Martine, luckily nobody was hurt badly. The car was damaged pretty significantly, probably more so than this picture really tells. But man, I felt terrible. I mean, accidents are never intentional. That's why they're accidents. I thought for sure maybe he would dispatch me back to heaven and put his emphasis on rebuilding his favorite car. Luckily for all of you and my friends on the board, he did not do that. I'm still here with my family as well. But after a couple of years trying to find parts, a lot of hours and time from professionals, he was able to find those parts and get the necessary repairs made and get the car back on the road. It's a beautiful car. So now let me show you what it looks like today. And we still have this car. This car, again, is a 1933 Roadster. We still have it in our family. I like the outcome. I didn't necessarily intend to create an opportunity to rebuild and recreate because the car was good to begin with. But because of the circumstance that I caused, we were given an opportunity, my dad was given an opportunity to recreate and do something different. And while the car isn't changed dramatically, there's many, many elements that are different because of that reconstruction. Now, it's still a beautiful car. It's still a rare car. It's still something that we love, especially because it was my dad's favorite. So what does that have to do with the county? Like that 1933 Ford Roadster, the county's been through bumps and bruises. We've certainly been through various iterations. We've probably had an accident or two along the way in the history of the county. In recent years, there's been a lot of challenges that have been before us. It's no different today. But through those challenges, through those hurdles, the county always comes out different. And this county is different because of the board that's impaneled today. The county going forward will be different because of Bill's inclusion, the new elected officials that we'll now serve with. The county will be different. It needs to be different. That's the process of a citizen's government. That's okay. We'll continue to ask questions. They kind of made fun of me for that in the video. I do like, I like to ask questions. When we were filming some of those, I didn't know the cameras were rolling, and we sat down and I started really into this diatribe of questions, not even knowing that we were being filmed, because that's how I am. I like to understand. I like to know how things work. I can't make decisions if I don't have good information. I see Bill smiling because he's been on the other end of some of that inquiry, as everybody has that works with me and that works with this board. In my first round of chairman, we engaged in a strategic planning process that invited all of the elected officials to come together, to sit in a room and talk about a shared vision, common goals for the county. That hadn't happened before. It was, it certainly generated good results. It wasn't perfect, the process wasn't, but we had the ability to come together to find that common ground. And with that, we think the county is now moving towards a better place with shared goals and objectives. We're grateful for that. It's something different. That's good. We've focused on regulatory reform. We've focused on enhancing workplace development, more transparency and authenticity in budgets. We've introduced a standardized budget process that includes resetting budget baselines with a zero-based budget approach. We've made great progress in a lot of areas, but we still have a lot of work to do. We've made progress in animal care and control, yet we have work to do. That's what's ahead of us. Like that old 33 Roadster, there's so much more that the county does than one can see from the outside. Thousands of dedicated employees, over 13,000, in more than 50 unique lines of service. The county reaches into our lives every day in ways that many of us don't fully understand. Our ability to succeed is based on our reliance on this team of people. We're grateful for them and are anxious to move forward into 2017 with high hopes for the work that we can do. The county is a subdivision of the state. We operate under statutory authority. We do what it is that the legislature and the laws tell us to do. It's a tightrope that we walk, trying to manage those mandates and at the same time trying to make sure that we can be fiscally conservative and financially prudent in everything that we do while meeting those mandates, but also allowing a stable tax and business environment that will allow businesses to succeed and families to thrive. So we have much to celebrate in 2017. There's been healing in the economy. We're not out of the woods. We may not get out of the woods before we start into another recession. That's incumbent upon us as a board to make sure that our financial house is in order. It's the number one responsibility that we have given to us from you to manage these dollars. It's a huge responsibility. We feel the weight of that burden. We take it very, very seriously, and we're grateful. We'll continue to focus on improving the budget processes and managing the fiscal side of the house. There will be a continued emphasis on transparency. We'll continue to enhance the way we handle the authority that you give to us in regulatory matters. There will always be this natural friction between those that are empowered to regulate and those that are regulated. We recognize that. We want to make sure that we can find that delicate balance. It will continue to be a focus for this board as we move forward. One example of that, last year we approved the Air Quality Department's revised rules for the new source review. It was a long process. There was a lot of people and stakeholders that reached in. But this rulemaking reform was a result of literally 3 years of effort to make sure that large businesses who employ lots of great people here in Maricopa County can be successful. Businesses like Salt River Project, like Intel, who we work with very closely in this regard. We're grateful for theirs and other stakeholder engagement as we've been together involved in this process. We couldn't do it without them. We have more work to do with regards to workforce development. so that we can have the most highly trained and dynamic workforce. This is something that Supervisor Chukri started. We've made progress, but we have work to do. We're going to continue to pursue ways to engage and reward those that lead out. Again, our employees are the most valuable asset that we have at the county. So we need to make sure that we're engaging them appropriately. There's much we can do in the criminal justice arena through further deployment of evidence-based smart justice initiatives. Every year we have more than 1,000 people that come through the doors of our jail. 100,000 people come through the doors of our jail. It was an Austin Powers moment. It's a lot of people. Now, if you have a static population of 8,000, yet you're bringing 100,000 through the system every year, you can imagine the dynamics of trying to manage that inflow and outflow of people. It's costly both to the county financially, it's costly to society. So we need to find, again, a way to manage how we do that. And we're working on a number of things that you'll see here in 2017 that are effective. Of those that we have in custody, more than 50% of those individuals will be back in our jails at some time in 12 months or less. So that speaks to the challenge that we have in managing that part of the criminal justice system. Through McJustice, which is a collaborative of people that has been chaired by Bill Montgomery, been able to sit on that and be part of that. It brings together all of the criminal justice players. We're looking at ways to explore solutions and best practices to reduce recidivism. It's not an easy thing to tackle, but we're working on it. We're bringing great minds together to deploy evidence-based practices that will reduce the likelihood of people coming back into jail, which has an expense to us as taxpayers, and it has an expense to the community and to society. It's something that's important to us, and we're going to see great progress in that this next year. It's more than just good fiscal policy. We're excited about our new learning management system, the Hub, that goes live this month. This is mostly an internal thing for the county, but it's a big deal for those 13,000 plus employees that it will be a resource to them and the managers as we're trying to train up that workforce, putting resources at their fingertips. Our new Maricopa County website will also be launched this month, and we have it'll give us a more user-friendly interface, a better look and feel, a uniform place to go and to find the information that you need. Our new open government website will increase transparency, allowing people to literally from anywhere they want go in and find information and details about their government that's important to them. It's important to this board that we continue to push that way, and so we're going to see more and more of that as we move into 2017. We're excited about the repurposing just across the street of the Madison Street Jail into a unique space for the county attorney's office. Design is already underway, and we anticipate that it'll be completed in spring of 2019. Right now, we have the county attorney spread across multiple facilities. It's not efficient. It's not effective. This new facility will allow that workforce to be in close proximity to the courts, generally under one roof, and it will be a huge step forward in terms of how we manage process and flow within that piece of the criminal justice arena. Really cool, though, that we're able to do that with an old jail. It's kind of funny that the county attorney is going to be in jail across the street. But it's going to be an awesome project. This jail has been closed. Otherwise, maybe we would put people there, other than the county attorney. We're excited about the new Law Resource Library just across the plaza. We'll have a chance to be there just after this meeting today to have a reception and to see that. That'll be open here next week. It's a great resource for the community that invites people in. Most of you know there's a great need to replace the Durango jail. It's literally, in some cases, falling down. It's been well used and worn out. We're in the process of replacing that jail. The groundbreaking for a new intake facility is going to happen in the spring. That's a huge resource for us to manage that 100,000 inmates that we take. And we do that in connection with other law enforcement agencies. Every day, we're interacting 24/7 with others in law enforcement. We need to engage them in a more effective and productive way. This will allow us to do that. It will allow us to have physical and mental health facilities on site in the same place. We'll have bond windows for multiple jurisdictions so that they can get the inmates or the guests out more quickly, allowing these officers to get back on the street where they need to be, protecting us and protecting public safety. I could go on. There's so much more that we could talk about here in Maricopa County. The work at Maricopa County Department of Transportation, air quality, flood control, environmental services, health department. As I mentioned a bit ago, we've made great progress at animal care and control, but there's work yet to do. This board is ready to do it. I'm grateful for the opportunity to move forward. We've got our work cut out for us with recent events surrounding Chase Field and the Diamondbacks. We were certainly disappointed by the lawsuit that was dropped yesterday, but we have to remember that the Diamondbacks are a great asset to the downtown community, to the county, and to the state, and we need to find a way to keep them playing in Chase Field through the end of the original term. We're going to work hard to do that. It's what's best for the community and the investment that the taxpayers have made, and we believe it's best for the Diamondbacks. We're going to work hard to make that happen. So as you can see, there is certainly a lot to celebrate. There's a lot of work to do. I'm honored again by the election to serve as the chairman of the board for 2017 for the confidence that my colleagues and friends have placed in me. And with that, I would just say, on behalf of the board, thank you to all of you for the opportunity that you've given us to serve. We'll work hard to be worthy of that responsibility and the trust that you've placed upon us, and we're going to do everything that we can to make 2017 a very productive and great year for Maricopa County. So with that, we wish you a very happy new year, a prosperous 2017. And I think for the first time, I'm going to pick up the gavel, and we're going to adjourn this meeting. We're going to go across the street, just across the plaza, for a reception. We welcome you to join us, and we're glad that you can be here today. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're adjourned.
Mr. Chairman and members of the board and the public, the remainder of the formal meeting will take place across the street at approximately 11:30. We'll reconvene that part, and it will be in the Tom Sullivan Room at 301 West Jefferson. Thank you.
Thank you.